Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Talk Flirty to Me. You are with your lovely host, stesses, Mari and Lana. Hello, Lana.
Hello, Mari. Yes, we're the hostesses with the mostesses.
Exactly. Like, I feel like that was a cereal that was like the something with the mostest. Cinnamon Toast
Uh,
Crunch? Cheerios?
Apple Jacks?
Ooh, might have been Apple Jacks. I forgot about Apple Jacks. That was a thing.
Yeah, I don't know how that just came to my brain.
I don't know either, but yeah. So we're Apple Jacks, and it's nice to see you guys. Or meet you guys, talk to you
See
all,
you. We
see
can see
you.
you with our third eye somewhere
Yes,
or something weird.
exactly. Yeah, look into our third eye. We look back. But anywho, so Lana and I have been we are very slowly catching up on all the like nerdy Netflix and anime things that we have been trying to catch up on. I promise we will get there eventually. I'm still wanting to watch Arcane, which I have heard amazing things about, and I have
Mm.
listened to the theme song like 1,000 times. The one that's Imagine Dragons and JID. So I definitely am interested, at least in the song. I have it on my iPhone, so I need to actually watch the show now.
Mm. I
Um,
haven't heard anything. I've seen a lot of ads. I
yeah,
haven't read anything though, but I've seen a lot of ads about the show. And it
it's
does look good. It looks super good.
yeah, yeah. I mean, as someone who's like not like I've always tried to get into League of Legends, but I'm
Mm-mm.
also bad at massive multiplayer online RPGs. So
Yeah.
I've never like truly been able to get into it. But like all the things that I've been reading and like the backstory and stuff makes me want to get into it just for these characters. And then I remember that I would suck at it.
Yeah. I had roommates in college that played a
Mhm.
roommate and her boyfriend that played League of Legends, and I never wanted to get into it. I feel like some of that community is just a
Toxic.
little toxic. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
toxic gamers.
Oh, for sure.
Not
And I
all
feel
of
like
them,
that, yeah, not
but
all
some
of
of
them, of
them.
course. You get your, but I feel like that's like any online gameplay. Like even like I'm a part of like a black Pokemon group. And even
Yeah,
on there, some people are toxic. I'm like, this is Pokemon, y'all. Like, why are you calling people trash?
I
We're collecting
mean,
Pikachu. Like, what is happening?
I will say that I have watched some people play Pokemon
Hmm.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they're so bad that I want to comment mean things, but because I'm a nice person, I would never do that. But they're that bad where they like go into a battle and they clearly like, how do you not know types? Like, I'm gonna just rant
Oh,
about
I
this
got
for
you.
a
Yeah.
few
Yeah. No, go
moments,
ahead.
but
Yes.
if you don't put a water type against like a grass type, like, you don't do
Yeah.
that
Yeah. You
and
don't
then
do it.
expect to win and hit it with like, Imma just hit it with bubble repeatedly, or you don't, unless you have a dual type Pokemon. But
Right.
do not sit on YouTube and play any Pokemon game and not know your type advantages. It's a disgrace to Pokemon trainers everywhere. It's a disgrace to me and it makes me angry. So I could
I
see how
agree.
that could be toxic. I mean, I don't say anything because I'm like, if I can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. And
Right.
but it makes me mad because I'm not going to say the person I'm talking about, but they have millions of subscribers and they
Yeah.
sit up there and they suck at Pokemon. And it
That
makes me
is
so angry that I unsubscribe from them because they make me like want to
just
physically
angry.
harm them. And I'm not a violent person. Like, that's how passionate I guess I am about Pokemon.
That's hilarious. Yeah, no, you're usually not the one threatening physical harm, so you are right.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
that you no, don't do that.
Yeah,
Do not
I'm
do stupid stuff
just
like that,
don't
or
do it.
go, or be like, you know what? I'm gonna walk past the Pokemon Center because I don't really feel like going back to heal my Pokemon. I should just go into this battle and just fight. And I'm
Like,
like,
oh, so
bro,
you're
are
just
you
gonna die.
serious?
Cool.
Like,
Especially for like gym leader battles. I've seen a couple people do that and then they get
ugh,
wiped by the gym leader, and I'm like, well, you were going into a gym leader battle and you couldn't take 2 seconds to stop by the Pokemon Center. So
yes. What did you
shrug.
expect? Like,
Right.
oh, I think they'll be fine. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna risk it. I'm like,
I'm
you
just gonna
risk.
risk it.
This is why your Pokemon don't love you.
Right.
Like,
This is why your
this
Pokemon is just shaking off poison just to make you happy.
this is literally why you're a trash human being, and I hope you get a paper cut. Okay, I'm done ranting. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, no, I mean I definitely agree. I'll give people a pass with some of the newer ones. Like, okay, you might not know like the fairy type disadvantages off
Hmm.
the top of your head. But
Yeah.
Google exists. They have apps for your phone. They have so many ways for you to find that information. But like the basic ones, like you don't know the water, grass, fire, rock, paper, scissors basically combination, like get your life together. Get it together. The whole thing is rock, paper, scissors. Like they expanded. If you want to get confused by the other stuff, okay. But please do not throw your grass type against my Charizard and then be surprised when I melt him. Like don't do that.
Like, I think he can take him.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that Bulbasaur could definitely take him.
yeah, yeah.
He'll be fine.
He's got him. He'll be fine against Magmar.
Yeah, totally fine against Magmar. Nothing could possibly happen. Yeah, no, that definitely does irritate me. I think, but this is like people will post their teams, right? Like it'll be like, oh, hey guys, this is like my current, and not asking for feedback. Like it's not one of those things where it's like, hey, rate my team or something like that. It's just kind of like, hey, finally got to the Elite Four. This is who I'm rolling with, and they'll have like Gengar and Empoleon and like a couple of other Pokemon. So it's like, huh, you using Empoleon? Trash. Oh, people are still out there with Gengar? Nips. Like, like you have those people out there. And I'm like,
Who are these people that speak this way? First of all, I'd like to meet them. Are they named Kyle? Like
they're all Kyle
Zach?
and Kevin. Kyle, Kevin, and Zach are all in this Facebook group. This Black Pokemon Facebook group.
Oh, they're so disgusted. I feel like that's a real person because that accent was too dead on. Like,
It might have that accent might have been from a guy who like worked at the GameStop that I used to go to, but the comments were real from like the Facebook, and I'm always just confused. Like this person was not asking for your opinion; they were just trying to share their happiness at the fact that they like made it to the Elite Four already, and then you guys just came by and shat on their team for no
yeah.
reason. Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna join that group, and my whole team is gonna be Bidoof, and I'm gonna sweep them
just six Badoof.
at level 100. You know he's a god tier Pokemon if
Yeah, no, Badoof gets
you
on my
do it
daggone
right.
nerves. Yeah. They have a
So
an underground
so
place
scary.
where yeah, he's
5 Bidoofs
surprisingly
and 1
unnerving.
Audino.
And a Snorlax.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, get ready for this.
All right, you
I'm
ready?
finna be the worst kind of person for your
I know
team.
the worst kind of trainer. That is, I hate whenever Snorlax shows up because I'm a big like, I'm mostly a water type, but then like also Gengar is my big one, and I can't hit Snorlax unless you have that skill that makes
Uh,
like ghost attacks hit normal
yeah,
Pokemon. Like
the
I can't hit
Scoper or
Snorlax. I
something.
just die. Yeah, I think it's Scope. I can't remember which one it is, but all I know is whenever people pull out Snorlax, I'm like, y'all about some trash shit. Okay.
Snore, and they're like, use rest, snore,
Right. Yes,
rest
yes.
and
Every
snore.
time, get him down to like 10 HP left, and it's like Snorlax rested. Snorlax ate his leftovers. Snorlax. I'm like,
If
I
he
hate
got
this
some
guy.
leftovers, rest and snore, so he can attack you while he's sleeping, and you're
Just
done.
give up. Right. I'm like, I'm
Just
either gonna be in this
he's a
battle for
tank
three
on top
years.
of that.
Yes, he is. Like nothing does a lot of damage to him, which gets because like normal types, they don't really have like
Yeah.
a big
Even
type at
fighting
disadvantage.
doesn't, it's like the fat cushion that he has doesn't
Right. It just
double
bounces off.
kick, nothing works.
Yeah. Oh god, he needs to be nerfed. Pokemon, if you're listening, please nerf Snorlax.
I feel like he's going to. It just reminds me of Smash Bros. When you get the Snorlax Pokeball and he like lands on you. I feel like that's about to happen to us, and we're gonna fly out of the screen
I'll be over
while
flag away.
the
No,
podcast.
that noise haunts my nightmares. That like as he comes
Right.
back down to smash everyone. It haunts my dreams.
You know, it's still the Lavender Town music for me. That's my dreams.
No, that's fair. See, I liked Lavender Town because that's where I could finally find my Ghastly, which I can eventually turn into Gengar. So I was cool with them. But
What? I
Snorlax,
hated
man.
Lavender Town.
Dee,
I hate
doo,
those
dee, doo.
not just the music, but those channelers,
Oh yeah, the like
those
creepy
women,
ghost
they're
people.
like
Yeah.
those women, they're like "Beep, bop, 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 stop. I put a curse on you. And it's like, why do I
Yeah.
have to keep fighting you?
Like,
Stop
leave
it.
me alone. And some of them were like, I'm a ghost. And it's
It
like, I
was, yeah.
believe you.
Evil
You
spirits
probably
be
are.
gone.
Right? It's like, no, I'm pretty sure you're the evil spirit, ma'am.
Like, leave me. Stop. I just want to rest in a safe zone and save Cubone's
Right.
mom. Stop it.
Right. I just wanted to get whatever is up there, that flute or whatever you got to get from the top of that
Save Mr.
tower.
Fuji.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to
That's
do.
all I'm trying
Mr.
to do. Leave me
Fiji.
alone.
Fuji.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
Right.
Mr. Somebody.
Whoever he is, I just want to see him and then leave. Oh God, yeah, Lavender Town is something else. You're right. But Snorlax again will still forever be the one that traumatizes me. Like there is no Pokemon that I get. Well,
You're wrong.
uh, what's the one that does roll out all the time?
Milk Tank?
Yeah,
Milk
Milk
Tank?
Tank, Milk Tank, and Snorlax.
Kangaskhan
I
does
think are
it
my two.
too.
Kangaskhan does too, but Kangaskhan for some reason never really bothered me. Like I never got hung up on a Kangaskhan the way I get
Probably
stuck
because
with
you
like
never
Miltank
saw
and Snorlax.
Kangaskhan ever in that game. Pretty rare to see a Kangaskhan ever since like what first
That's
generation?
true. Like no one really uses like I do battle online sometimes too, and no one really uses Kangaskhan in their lineup.
Kangaskhan, bring her back.
Yeah.
Her and Nidoran.
Don't bring back Nidoran.
Scyther
You got
and
it.
a
Scyther!
Heracross.
Okay,
I
Scyther
haven't
was the
seen
homie.
no I've seen no Heracross in a long time.
I forgot Heracross was a Pokemon until you said his name, so you're correct. I was like, Hera
I haven't
who?
seen no Heracross. I ain't seen no Gold Ducks in a long time.
Oh, Golduck.
Uh
I feel like Golduck used to be popular for a minute. I think when
mhm.
Misty, like way back in the day when Misty had Psyduck and everybody was like, oh, I want that Pokemon now.
Yeah, and they thought remember when she thought her Psyduck evolves? He's like flirting with all those women and he
Yeah.
didn't.
Poor Psyduck. I felt bad for him.
Sigh.
Duck. Anyway, that was not what this was supposed to be about.
Well, we got a bonus Pokemon.
Surprise, Pokemon.
Doo-doo.
Um,
And Cowboy Bebop.
yes, and Cowboy Bebop, which is what I was actually here to talk about today, because we both have watched the first like one or two episodes of Cowboy Bebop. And we didn't want to really spoil it because it's still very new, and I'm very curious to see what like people think about it. Once they finish it. But I had some early impressions about Cowboy Bebop, and I was curious how you felt. Because Lana, you have or have not watched Cowboy Bebop before? I can't remember.
I haven't. I feel like I've seen it before, but I never paid
Mhm.
attention to it. So I was trying to rewatch it recently. The cart, the cartoon, the anime. Am I talking
Yeah.
about? Am I a blurred or am I not?
I know. Excuse you. The cartoon.
Excuse
How
me.
dare
The
you?
animated anime.
The
Um,
anime. Thank you.
I tried to watch it, but I couldn't, and so I just for some reason couldn't get into it. I really liked the music though, for some reason from
Mhm.
Cowboy Bebop, but I could never like finish watching it. I think every time I look at it, I just something must have triggered me like with Toonami in that show. I don't know what it was, but I think about that alien, I mean that robot from Toonami being like,
Tom,
and
good old
next,
Tom. Next
and it's
up,
like
Cowboy
Boy
Bebop.
Bebop. It's like my mom's like, get to bed now. Never
It's
watched
too
Cowboy
late for
Bebop
you. You're
again.
on Adult Swim. Get out of there.
Get out of here. Mom, this is Toonami.
Right, it's
Um,
different. It's anime.
anime. So I never actually watched the like a lot of Cowboy Bebop, the anime. Um, but I was like really excited to watch the live action version.
Yeah. I definitely watched the anime growing up. Like, well, Cowboy Bebop, it was one of those, I think it came on like along with Samurai Champloo and some of those. So I
Hmm.
never, the
Ghost in the
first
Shell.
time, yeah, Ghost in the Shell. What was that one, that other one? People are not ruled by their memories. Big O, Big O. I don't know why
Yeah.
that's the
Mhm.
one line I remember from
I
that,
was
but
like,
Big
bo bo
O.
bo 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 bo
No. Bo, 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 bo.
bo 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 bo
Absolutely
bo.
not. Absolutely not. But yeah, it was like around that same time frame. So the first time I saw it, I didn't see it like consecutively. I saw it in like bits and pieces. Like I saw episode 1 and then episode 5 and then episode 10. And then I think when I was like in college, it was the first time I like watched it in its entirety because I like bought the Blu-ray. It was cheap on sale, and the DVD I think maybe at the time, but it was like cheap on sale. So I'm old, y'all. We had DVDs back then,
It's
and
better
I
than me. I
bought it.
bought Vampire Night for some reason on DVD.
You had an option between Cowboy Bebop and Vampire Night, and you chose Vampire Night.
I'm trash.
And for that, shame on you. Yes, into the trash can with you. Into the recyclables.
Okay, fine.
But yeah, like that was the first time I watched it. But I definitely agree with you that the music is spectacular. And that was one of the things that like the I think the remake did very well is like they and I think they did work
Hmm.
with the original composer, which was great, but you could tell that they clearly realized that music was a big draw for the anime. Like people, they know that theme song, right? Like even if you're not really an anime person, you hear that dun
Hmm.
dun 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 dun, it's Cowboy Bebop. So I think like that was like one thing that they knew they had to get right.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the music. It made me, and actually, it made me want to go back and watch the anime.
Mhm.
After like watching the first two, I was like, because I was a little confused. So I was like, maybe the anime will clear up some of my confusion about this show. Because I was like, what
Now,
is
what is
happening?
happening? Yeah,
Who
yeah.
is this? Where's the corgi?
Which episode does the
The
corgi
dog
appear,
come along.
everyone?
When does the dog come? Because I'm
They promised me a dog, and I have not seen them yet.
so I'm what am, I mean, am I gonna see a dog or not? But I have to keep watching.
Yes.
So
You have to keep
um
watching. That's the thing we're all watching for. Do you see the dog or not?
it's like, I'm waiting for the dog.
Forget
Like
the
that
story.
was what
Forget
I
Spike and
remember.
the syndicate. We want the
Yeah.
dog.
On top of that, there's no like my live action Spike. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
It's always gonna be Ben from RD. I'm joking. I was
Oh
thinking about
wow.
that when I was watching it. I was like, "Where's Ben? Is he not?
Ben, why didn't you audition for Spike?
Why didn't you, why didn't you cause an uproar in the community?" Um,
Oh my god.
no, but I did like it. I will say this, Mari, is that watching it, if you've never seen, and I'll say this out there for people, if you've never seen the anime of
Mhm.
Cowboy Bebop and you start watching live action, it moves very fast. Like they gave me no time to be like, they didn't introduce me to the character. I mean, they introduced it to me, but it was like, hey, I'm Spike and I like to shoot people.
And
Yeah.
I'm kind of crazy.
And
Yeah.
I'm yeah, it wasn't like, so this is man and this is happening. They own their ship. It was like all of a sudden we see some criminals and then bam, 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 shots, shots, action,
Mhm.
action. Because I'm trying not to spoil it. Action, action.
Yeah.
And we meet these people. He's hot headed and this black man is the
Right.
there to be the straight
Is
man
right. He's technically the voice of truth, but also kind of a little hot-headed. Yeah.
too. And so I think that I enjoyed it, but also I felt like I needed to like read the manga or something so that I could get up to speed with what was happening because I feel like, and I'm sure it'll all make sense at the end, but in the
Mm.
first two episodes, I'm like, wow, a lot is happening and I don't know what's happening. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure
I
I'm figuring it out, but I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. Like the first episode was it almost felt like they were working under the assumption that the people that would be watching were people who had like already seen the anime. So they didn't really have to explain who these people are, which I think is like a fair assumption, but not a great assumption if you also want to bring in newcomers. You know what I mean? But yeah, it did very much feel like, oh, you're watching these like crazy people. The first episode starts off with like a crazy guy saying some stuff about like the
Hmm.
capitalism and stuff, and then you have this like random dude in a blue suit and this black dude who looks like kind of a cyborg who come through and like say they're cow or somebody's like you're a cop and they're like no we're cowboys and then they shoot a bunch of people you're like oh okay cool like there's no real explanation of like who's
Hmm.
Spike, who is Jet, like who are these people, and you
Yeah.
could tell that like they clearly know each other for a while because of their back and forth, but there's no
Hmm.
um there's no explanation of like who are these people, why do I care about them, are they the main characters, I guess so because they're here, but like
Yeah.
who are they? Yeah.
They also presented the like people, they weren't really villains,
Hmm.
but the girl who was the girl and the guy Oz Ozymandias, what's his name?
Hold on, which guy and
Ozymandias?
girl?
The guy, what's his name?
Oh, in the
Osmotus
first
or
episode, it
Asmodus? They presented
yeah,
them at
Asmodeus and
Asimov,
you're
and
talking about the guy
Katarina.
who was on the red stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, Catalina and
the couple.
yeah, yeah.
They presented them as if they were gonna like ride through the rest of the show. I'm not saying they didn't, but I'm saying they presented them like they were gonna kind of be like this main opposing force,
They
and
were at
that's
least
not
gonna be
even the
chasing him
main.
for a little while.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and that wasn't the main opposing force. And I was just like, what? So
Yeah.
I think the
I also
pacing
think
is
that
different.
yes, the pacing I think is maybe a little too fast. Is I think my
Hmm.
issue. Like even with that, with Catalina and whatever his name was, they like at the end. I think I'm supposed to sympathize with what happened. And I don't like I just don't really like feel for either of them because I never got to understand their characters. Like the I'm supposed to feel for them because Spike sees like a resemblance between something that he's been in before. And I think I was supposed to also be like, oh, Spike feels for her, so I feel for her. But they have like a scene at the end that's pretty dramatic that involves them that I think was supposed to like invoke some type of feeling out of me. And I was like, I don't
Hmm.
care about these people. I've only known them for 20 minutes.
Hmm.
And in that, this guy beat somebody to death with his bare hands. And I found out this girl was carrying drugs. So, like, why do I care about them? Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I couldn't keep up. I was like, at the end, I was like, well, that was over. Well,
Right there.
I guess
Yeah.
time to figure out who the next person I'm supposed to care
Right.
about
Yeah.
is.
Who's the next one? Yeah. And I mean, like, the anime is very much like those which I enjoy that it's those one-offs that tie into a greater
Hmm.
story. Like I do enjoy that about the anime, but something about the way they do it, maybe it is the pacing feels like, and I guess they had less episodes to work with for the Netflix series than they do in the anime. And even the anime, I think, was cut short. I remember the director, who also directed Samurai Champloo, haha, wink, wink, um, mentions that he like wanted to expand more on the universe that then they ended up being able to. But even then, I feel like the pacing in the anime is a lot better. Like I get a better feel for who Spike is. I feel
Hmm.
like in the Netflix one too, Spike gets on my nerves a lot. Like Spike was always the nonchalant kind of like
Yeah.
older Japanese man who kind of did what he wanted. He's kind of aloof, beats to his own drum. Like he's always been that character. But the anime one, there was something
Hmm.
lovable about Spike. Like there's a reason people like to dress up as Spike when they go to conventions. Like there's something lovable about this character. The Netflix one, I'm just like, throw him off the side of the plane, man. Call it a day. Shoot that man
He's
into
a
space.
he's a bit immature.
He is,
I will
yeah.
say, but I do love John Choi.
Yes, I love John
I
Cho.
love him
Like
as a
he's great.
person. John
Yeah,
Cho. I was. Is there a Daniel Choi? Is that who was mixed in with?
there is a Choi. I can't remember
There's a Choi
who.
somebody.
Yeah.
John Cho. I love John Cho. I like what he's been in. It's in Harold and Kumar, right? Um,
Ooh, yes, yes, I believe he is.
and so I enjoy him, and I think he's a great actor. But
Yeah.
I haven't seen the original one, but he does seem a little bit more immature than what I've seen of Spike in the original.
Mhm.
What I did see, even though I did not like binge watch all of the original Cowboy Bebop, he
Yeah.
seems a little bit more immature than Spike to me. But
Yeah, I feel like he definitely is. Like I think they're trying to make him seem aloof, and maybe it gets better as the series goes on.
hmm.
But yeah, I think they're trying to make him aloof, but it just comes off as like an immature man who doesn't know how to properly express himself versus like
Hmm.
a aloof guy who kind of is beating to his own
Yeah.
drum, but also as a partner. And like there's a little bit in the second episode where it shows that like he
Hmm.
does respect Jet as his partner.
Yeah.
But for the majority of it, it really feels like he doesn't
Hmm.
really care about the fact that like Jet's there. Like even when Jet's like, I
Mm-mm.
have to buy a present for my daughter, he's kind of like meh about it. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't seem to really care about Jet until like one specific moment. Whereas I feel
Hmm.
like in the anime, there's this clear like they might butt heads, they might talk shit about each other, they might like they play the dozens a lot, but at the end of the day, they truly care about each other.
I will say this. Spike that I've seen in the anime seems super cool, like swag, like
Yes,
like
he's a
just un
swaggy guy.
cool, collected, calm. And this one
Hmm.
doesn't seem like, it's not that he doesn't seem cool to me. He seems very cool, but like just not as calm. But like you said,
Yeah.
maybe we've only seen 2 episodes. I've only seen
Right.
1 and 3/4. Um,
Hmm.
maybe as it goes on, he will become that thing. That
Yeah.
Spike we know
That's what.
and love it. Or
Yeah.
maybe he's meant to be kind of different. But I still think John Cho is doing a great job.
Oh, absolutely. I think
An
John
excellent
Cho
job.
is, yes, he is great as Spike. I think he's doing an amazing
Mhm.
job. I think Mustafa Shakir as Jet has been absolutely great. I
Yeah.
even like Danielle as Faye from what I've seen as her.
Mhm.
I kind of like her like snarky, sarcastic attitude that she's given.
Yeah.
Like at the end when she like saves them by like shooting that guy, and Jet's just
Mhm.
like, "Is that my
Is
gun?"
that
She's
my
like, "You
gun?
guys."
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, "You guys are assholes." Like, I really love her demeanor. Like, when they have her locked in the bathroom, she's like, "So we're split this 50-50, right?" Like, she's a great addition. I really like her acting. So yeah, like, I think they did a solid job with casting, except for Vicious. I do not like Vicious as actor. Like, Vicious for me was always like, he was the kind of like, he was the villain that was kind of broken down. Like, that was his whole thing. But this Vicious looks like he stinks. Like, I just like, I don't
Did you
know.
say it looks like he stinks?
Yes,
Really?
yes.
Okay.
He
I
looks
just
like
make
he
sure I
doesn't
heard it
take
right.
showers,
Mhm.
and the Vicious from the anime was like, he probably smells like a nice cologne, but he also might kill you because he's kind of crazy. This Vicious is like, this man hasn't showered in 4 days. He doesn't realize he smells, but everybody else knows it. Like, this is what this Vicious reminds me of.
What?
I don't know what
Why
it
does he
is.
look like he stink?
Something about his demeanor and his character and his look just looks like he stinks. I don't know what it is. But the first time I saw him, I was like, I wouldn't be anywhere near that man. Like, they have a Julia, and they're like, I think making
Oh
out at the end of episode
gosh.
1 or whatever it is. And I'm like, I wouldn't be anywhere near that man's lips. No, sir. Not me.
Well, I didn't. I'm gonna have to go back and watch and see if he looks like he stinks. But
just really look at him.
uh, uh just really stare. I'm like, I can see it through the TV,
Mhm.
smell it.
Yes. I could see the
Um,
green waves wafting through the TV like the Sims.
oh gosh, I will say, um, it is a very beautiful, I would say anime, beautiful live action version of an anime. They did a very good job
Hmm.
because even though we don't speak of the Dragon Ball Z movie
We do
of years
not. That
ago,
movie does not exist.
but sometimes when you try to make an anime into a live action, it doesn't always turn out. Especially, I
Death
mean,
Note.
most of the time when it's especially got something supernatural involved, and although
Hmm.
Spike isn't this supernatural person, the fighting in Cowboy Bebop is like, it's not supernatural, but it's not possible
Right. I like
for
that
us
they
regular
kind of,
folks to
right.
do,
Yeah.
and
Like
it looks
I
good.
yeah, like I appreciate that they kind of like toned it, like they kind of flipped it into more hand to
Mm,
hand and martial arts combat
mhm,
versus like just theatrical, over the top anime combat. Cuz like, and I think for part of what works for this is that Cowboy Bebop is a very like grounded anime as far as anime goes. So it is something that's a little bit easier, especially in 2021 where we have technology and we can make things that look like
okay.
spaceships and stuff like that. Like, it is easier to make it a live action because it is at the end of the day like a guy who has a gun and can fight with his fist in hands, a guy who has a gun and punches people, a girl who knows how to use guns and knives, and a crazy computer kid and a dog. So, like, at the end of the day, it's like those characters
Mhm.
are all very, like, no one's a spiritual fox demon. No one's a man who makes stands pop out of his back. Like, it's a little bit more grounded as far as anime goes.
That's for some reason started thinking about My Hero Academia. I was
I was thinking of my good friend JoJo, but my hero works too.
I was like, man, how would they live action that?
I wouldn't watch it to find out.
Netflix is already listening to this. Like,
I know.
yes,
Well,
do
they
it.
already got the One Piece one on the way that I'm nervous about. So, and I'm not even a big One Piece fan. I'm just
Mm-mm.
nervous for all the One Piece fans out there.
What? They should at least try Hunter x Hunter first.
I think there's like 9,010 anime they could try before One Piece. How are you gonna
They
make
didn't
Luffy
do
stretchy
well.
hands, y'all? How is Zoro gonna hold what, four swords? Is that how many he has now?
Well,
Four? Yeah.
if RDC World 1 can do it, so
You know, you're right. So can they?
so can Netflix.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying.
I would be so
Shout out to
confused.
RDC World 1.
Oh Lord.
They should have started off with Fairy Tale or something.
Something like fairy tale. No, that would have been hard too. To got
Yeah.
like fire breathing dude. No, start with like a slice of life. Let's start with, I don't know, orange or something. Something nice and chill. Some guy playing chess. Something.
Snow White tones. Or in High School Host Club, anything
Yeah.
like that. I
Yeah,
I go
anything like
for it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like all of those are things that could be like Oren, or like even like Peach Girl could be turned
Oh
into
my
a good
gosh.
drama, like any of those. Yeah.
Pause. I thought you said orange earlier, and I was like, "What the hell is orange?"
Oh, I did say Orange. Orange is an anime that is really good. It's about a I did say Orange.
An orange?
It's not about an orange. It's about, actually, now that you're saying that, I'm not entirely sure why it's called Orange. Maybe the main character has orange hair. I don't remember, but it's about a kid who's like kind of suicidal, and fails at committing suicide, and then his friends basically find him, and it's about him figuring out that people actually do care and love him, and he goes through like this process of like not wanting to commit suicide anymore. It's a really
Mm.
good anime. It will pull at your heartstrings, but would also be a great live action.
Sounds like that book that was a movie with Zach
Mm,
Galifianakis in it. It's not when things fall apart. I'm not gonna remember the name of this for now, but it's
yeah.
it's a sort of similar like that about this kid that
Mm.
wants to commit suicide, but then goes to a mental institution and then realizes that a lot of people don't care about him, but do care about him, and then I think Emma Roberts is in it too.
Hmm. Okay. I've not heard of this, but it does sound similar, except for this kid does not go to a mental institution. It's just his
It's
friends are
kind of a
like,
funny story. That's what it is.
oh, it's
It's
kind of,
kind of
oh, I have heard of, it's kind of a funny story. I don't think I've ever seen it though. But yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely similar vibes, but a great anime. Weird side tangent, but if you have not seen Orange and you want something, something nice and happy but sappy, but also sad and heart wrenching. Like I think I cried through all except for the last episode. I was like, oh, we finally made it to an episode where I won't cry. Thank you. It's great for November, guys. Eat some turkey and watch Orange.
That sounds sad. So I don't know about that.
It's only a little bit
Sure.
sad.
Um,
But yeah, no, back to yeah, live actions in general have been very questionable. So I've been at least pleasantly surprised in that the failures that I've seen with Cowboy Bebop so far have not been because it's like this is an anime and there's no way for you
mhm.
to reasonably translate that. It's been more of like Netflix adding parts of their own story. Like I'm a little nervous about what they're going to do with Julia
Yeah.
and Vicious, because I mean I feel like I won't spoil the
Mm.
live action, but the anime has been out for 9,000 years, y'all. I don't know what to tell you. But, like with the anime,
Well,
Julia is, not really around anymore. And so to have her not only here, but as like a prominent villain, um, is an interesting move. So I'm kind of curious to see what they'll do.
well, I think because I haven't seen the anime, but
Hmm.
I think I remember reading about it. I
Yeah.
read like the whole plot of it a long
Hmm.
time ago. I don't think they're gonna go for the same ending,
Oh,
which is
absolutely
gonna
not.
anger
Yeah.
a lot of people. But I don't know. I haven't watched all of it, so maybe they have gone for
Yeah.
the same ending. But
I feel like it would be pretty impossible to go for the main, like even just seeing the end of episode 2, I'm like, unless something drastically changes for reasons that wouldn't make sense, they could not end up at the same, at least the same ending at the end of the season.
hmm,
So, but we'll see. We'll definitely see what they do. From like clips that I've seen, it seems like they're drastically changing her character, which part of me does like, because I get really annoyed by the whole like the woman was simply there for as a plot point to push the two male leads ahead, and that's very much what Julia was. It was like Spike was in love with her, but so was Vicious, and that was the reason this whole thing has kind of started. But also, Spike wanted to get out of the syndicate, but that's kind of like the whole reason this whole thing kind of spurred started. And Julia was just fodder for these men's ambition. So I do like that it seems like they're trying to change your character from just that. But I am nervous because Netflix doesn't have a great track record when it comes to anime live actions and changing the story. So we'll see.
Mm, I have to agree with you because I haven't seen the anime.
Yes, you're forced to agree with me.
Like, sure, great,
Yeah, sounds right.
sounds good to me. I've
Yes.
never seen it, so all I saw was she had a back tattoo. So
She had a back
it's a
tattoo.
rose, just like in his dream.
No, it was all a dream. Yeah. But yeah, I'm curious to see where it goes. I'm definitely gonna like. It has not been one of those where I'm like, I don't think I'm ever gonna pick this up again. I'm definitely going to keep watching and see what happens.
Hmm. Yeah, I plan to watch it and then go back and watch the anime when
Yeah,
I have
no,
time.
I think you should definitely. It feels like one of those like you read or you watch the movie and then you read the book kind of things. Like watch the live
Hmm.
action, and then watch the anime and see. Um, but yeah, any final thoughts on what you saw with at least the episode and three-fourths that you watched?
Um, I think I really do. I think I was telling you this after seeing The Harder They Fall.
Hmm.
If you don't know this about me, I minored in film in school, not on purpose. Well, it was kind of on purpose, but not really.
I was like,
Um,
didn't you have to tell them what you were going to minor in?
yes, I did, but I went for the reason that I wanted to learn how to shoot with cameras for journalism work.
Hmm.
Not
Yeah.
because I wanted to learn about film, but in that they taught me all about angles and telling a story and just shots and lighting and all that good stuff. And
Hmm.
so after watching The Harder They Fall, I will say this about Netflix. What they're doing with their original content that they put out, whoever is shooting these things, the angles that are in Cowboy Bebop are very telling and good at
Yeah.
telling a story. The
Hmm.
overlay of it too, like the lighting that sometimes there's like a yellow tint to the scene
Yes.
or
Yeah.
something else is also very telling. The way they shoot Spike's face and Jet's face and everything like that. The way they do this wide shot, like the fight in the bathroom, and it was
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
between that mirror.
Oh yeah, with
The
the
mirror
mirrors
was
when they're
between
shooting
them.
it between. Yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
so I just say that if you don't want to watch it because you want to know how it's doing, like apart from the anime, watch it for the scenes. Like watch it for the
Yeah.
camera work, the scenes, and because John Cho's a great actor. And all the other people too, and because of the dog that's gonna come.
Yes. And the dog
But
will come.
definitely, yeah, yeah, watch it. I would say those are my overall thoughts that it is shot very well, so
Hmm.
it wouldn't be a waste of time. Like it'll
Yeah.
be a feast for your eyeballs. It's a
Yes. I
masterpiece.
totally agree. I guess my final thoughts to tag on to that would be that I completely agree with everything Lana just said. The Even as a not film major, like it's easy to tell that the person who is shooting this is extremely talented. They've got great moments, even those subtle moments with like Jet sitting in the chapel and like slowly seeing that man come in who clearly looks suspicious. Like everything is just really
Hmm.
well shot. The panels, like the way they switch things, like when Spike and Faye kind of get into it, when Faye has the gun to the back of his head, it's really well done.
Hmm.
Like it's just they do a great job. Or even like there was one scene where I think Spike is just like eating noodles. Him and Jet are talking, and Jet says something, and it kind of like leaves off on Spike, like slowly slurping these noodles up as he's like kind of absent-mindedly eating noodles. And there's just like all these little moments that they did a great job filming. And then again, the music is absolutely spectacular. If there's one thing I can say, they stay super true to how great the music is. They pay a lot of homage to jazz, which is what Cowboy Bebop did. Like they clearly paid extra attention to making sure the music was very detailed and very intricate and reflected what we got from the original series. So if you whether you're a Cowboy Bebop fan or not, I definitely recommend watching it. I am, like I said, very curious to see what they do with some of the characters that they've changed, specifically Vicious and Julia. So I'll hold off on anything like that until after I watch the end. But so far, it has not been a bad live action, and that is coming from someone who has shown audible disdain for most live action. So I'm curious to see where it goes.
Same. Definitely excited to see the dog.
Yes, and excited to see the dog. Well, on that note, we will leave you for today, but I promise we'll be back later. But yeah, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. So, definitely comment on our YouTube, our Instagram, wherever you guys normally do so. But yeah, I'd love to hear what people think about the live action.
Me too. And also tell me if you've seen the anime and tell me what you think about the Spike. Do you feel like Mari? Is he That's good. But also shout out to John Cho. You did a good job.
Yes.
I'm
Yes,
proud of you.
no. Yeah, it's like nothing against the actor. John Cho is absolutely amazing. This is all Spike, not John Cho, just Spike, just to clarify.
We'll have the real Spike on the show and he'll tell us what he thinks.
Yes, we'll pull him out
Somehow
of the
figure out.
anime.
We'll use our magical
Anime
black women powers.
Yeah, yes, our magical black women powers to bring someone out of the anime to tell us what they think about the Cowboy Bebop live action. Yes.
And then it'll be an isekai. Bam.
No, reverse isekai. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, in the meantime, we will see you guys later. Of course, as usual, make sure to follow us on all of our various social platforms that we are on, which is all of them. You can find us with at the Birdie Girls or Talk Birdie to Me. But we will see you next time.